into the heart of the whirl. Merlwyb is brooding over Leviathan's return. Though our plight cries out for action, we must take thought. So long as Leviathan remains in the open sea, he is effectively beyond our reach. Our fleet is second to none. Of that you may be sure. But Liliman Leon herself would struggle to best the Lord of the Whirl in his element. In a straight fight, he would make meat and matchwood of us. Make meat and matchwood of us, okay. We need another plan, that much is plain. Let us return to LIMSA and see if we cannot think of one. I shall await you in the command room. See, the good thing about me catching the computer just crashing out of nowhere was, one, it didn't stay frozen like last time, and I kept recording like a Dumbo. And this time I actually was able to just, you know, record it. Because that's the beauty of the PlayStation 5. Are you expected in the command room? Pray not. Keep the Admiral waiting.
There used to be a hamlet beyond South Tidegate in western NOSCEA.
NOSCEA. NOSCEA. Must remember that. It's NOSCEA. NOSCEA.
Some years prior to the Maelstrom's founding, Leviathan rose from the briny depths and set about unleashing watery hell upon us. On that occasion, the company of heroes put him down before he could do too much damage. But when the bastard came next, this time in the wake of the calamity, we were not so fortunate. Weary of ravaging our shoreline, he summoned a tidal wave which fair leveled Hearthstone and washed the soil away for good measure.
Their little Halfstone.
The area was subsequently occupied by the Sahagin.
Aye, the thrice-damned creatures transformed it into a spawning ground for their brood. Given the quantity of crystal stolen to feed him and his legion of thralls, we can be fairly sure that Leviathan is stronger now than in his previous incarnations. If that sea demon is left to wreak havoc, what befell Hearthstone may well befall a larger settlement, even
LIMSA.
That cannot happen. The primal must be stopped.
That was ever our objective, Admiral. But how are we to achieve it? The sea is Leviathan's uncontested domain. The ships of the 3rd Squadron could not close to within 100 yards of the primal, nor could their cannons pierce his defenses.
I have read the reports, Master Thancred. Our warships may as well have been bloody pleasure barges for all the good they did. 7 hells! Is there no way that we might strike back?
The company of heroes defeated Leviathan, having first lured him into an inlet, but we must needs contend with him upon the open sea. It will avail us little to consult past experience.
Admiral, if I may.
Speak freely, Marshal.
By all accounts, Leviathan's most formidable weapon is the very sea itself. Waves and whirlpools, tides and currents, all these things are his to command. The key to victory, I believe, lies in disarming our foe. This, in effect, is what the company of heroes achieved with their ruse. We cannot lure Leviathan from the sea a second time. But what if we could weaken his hold upon the element of water? I have heard of devices capable of such wonders. They draw upon the power of corrupted crystals, I am told. If mounted upon a ship, such a device might be used to prevent Leviathan from bringing the full force of the sea to bear against us, rendering him no more dangerous than any other sea serpent.
Of course! Sid built a similar device to grant the Enterprise safe passage through Garuda's Tempest, did he not?
Begging your pardon, my lady, but to give credit where it's due, this is something I heard from an old arcanist friend of mine.
It makes little difference who thought of it first, so long as it works. Beg the specifications of this device from your friend, and I shall pass them on to our people at NALD and Vermelis. But before we proceed any further, I would voice one concern. Piercing Garuda's defenses is one thing.
Yes, he has a voice.
Suppressing Leviathan's attacks, quite another. In matters of science, I am as a babbling babe, but I cannot well imagine that such a feat would be possible without a veritable mountain of corrupted crystal. The question being, do we have a ship big enough to bear such a burden?
You may have not, Admiral, but two might. Recall you the tale of Mistbeard's greatest haul? It is said that he lashed two ships together, side by side, the better to bear his plunder. By your leave, we might attempt to repeat the trick. The gods know it would be quicker than building a new vessel.
Mistbeard did this. Truly, Marshal, upon the subject of the Pirate King, you are as a scholar.
Freaking Mistbeard. Always coming up.
Now, from what I have gleaned of these matters, the device will need to be in close and constant proximity to the target, to which we must lash our twin vessel to Leviathan. This in itself will be no small feat. Ramming speed will be required, but given the weight of the cargo, that will only be attainable with the aid of a towing vessel.
I feel like one of the optional dungeons does something with
Suffice
Mistbeard.
to say, the task of piloting said vessel will entail considerable danger, and I would not ask it of another. I volunteer myself.
Will be dangerous for all involved, but we have no better recourse. Very well. Commodore, assemble the remnants of the fleet at Morabee Bay. Give priority to our soundest vessels. The repairs can wait. Storm Marshal Slafirson, command of the operation is yours. I want that twin vessel ready to sail post-haste.
Slafirson. Slafirson. I'm gonna have to remember that.
At once, Admiral.
Whenever they add the pirate job, I feel like we're gonna learn a lot more about Mistbeard.
And then there is the small matter of slaying the beast. The fate of LIMSALOMINSA rests upon your shoulders once again. Go well, warrior of light.
Yeah, Hullbreaker. That was the one I was thinking of. I just don't remember how much it reveals about Mistbeard. Beings held as gods also exist in what you call the Far East. Legends tell us that they walked among us in days of yore, but I confess that I never truly believed them. That should I live to behold one is humbling and horrifying in equal measure. Now that I have come face to face with the Primal, I do begin to understand why the Guardians fear them so. What is it? A message, Admiral. I judged it best that it be delivered at once. I am listening. According to the Yellow Jackets, a man has appeared who claims to have defeated Leviathan. One of the company of heroes? The details are yet hazy, Admiral. We have dispatched one of our own to question the individual. I am disinclined to put any store by his claim. Even should it be true, it is as Justola said, none save the company of heroes have bested Leviathan, and we know they went about and we know how they went about it. If this man is of their number, could he tell us what we do not know already? And yet, having wagered LIMSA's survival on 2 ships, some rope, and a pile of crystals, we can afford to ignore this man? If his testimony could yield us any manner of advantage, should we not hear it? Damn it all. The twin vessel will soon be ready. We have no time to wait for the Maelstrom's report on the supposed Primal Slayer, the Slayer's claims. Firemac, seek him out and learn what he knows. At the very least, it will spare you the torment of waiting for the reckoning in idleness. The man you are looking for is believed to be a resident of the Grey Fleet in NOSCEA. I just learned how they said it. Lower than NOSCEA. The Storm Private sent to question him should already be in the vicinity. May your journey prove fruitful. Let me see what you said here. This beard is a title that was passed down until it was set aside by our dude. Hey, where is this guy? All the way there? Wait, isn't that the stupid Tidal guy? I wonder if Zephyrgate would have been the faster way. Kind of like Dread Pirate Roberts in The Princess Bride. I haven't seen that movie in forever. But I do kind of remember what that was about. What the title, I mean. Alright. Yeah, we are talking to this asshole. God damn it. Now look here, you'll have your bloody store right here, right after you carry those sacks of grain over to the mill. But sir, that's not what you said you had. You said before you had me pick those oranges for you, and before I muckered out of the chocobo stables, and before I rolled that millstone over to the mill, and also before. Gods, man, I've worked 3 days straight without a wink of sleep. 3 days! And do you hear me complaining? But I suppose some of us just ain't made for the rougher stuff. Alright, I'll give you what you want. Never let it be said that old Thraktoon ain't a generous soul. Now, prick your ears, cause I won't be repeating myself. Too modest, see? Besides, there's only so much epicness a man can take in one city, you kin? The tale of Thraktoon's epic victory over the dread primal Leviabeetus. Now, Leviabeetus is huge, make no mistake. To give you an idea of how big, each of his scales is about as wide across as me members long. And that's no mean feat, let me tell you. You just talk about his freaking penis. When I fought him, I could barely see for all the brine he was pelting me with. Must have been a lagoon's worth at least. He even knocked me trusty axe out of me hands at one stage. Course, that proved to be a grave mistake. What happened next? when I grabbed him by the tail and tied him up in knots, but not wanting to take all the glory for myself, I let me mates and the company heroes handle the rest. Like I said, I'm modest as well as heroic, mayhap too modest. Now, there's some as say you can never truly beat Leviabeetus, that you've got to learn to live with him and make the best of a bad situation, not the company though. Ah! It's you! I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I was just enjoying the attention, is all. I take back everything I said. I was never part of the company heroes. I am no marauder. I'm actually a complete coward. I'm nothing. I'm a chocobo dung. Now, no, I'm the maggots you find wriggling in chocobo dung. I have to lie to women to tumble them, and that don't happen much. Me member's tiny. It's pathetic. Wow. I sure as hell didn't fight Leviabeetus, but I have seen him with me own eyes. 'Twas a fair few years back when I was working as a baker's hand. I was shirking me duties one day, loitering about the harbor, when I saw it. A great big massive sea serpent some miles off the coast, with a fleet of galleons making straight for it, cannons firing. I was so bloody scared, I sold myself right there and then. What? Oh gosh, just remembering that day made me soil myself all over again. Hey, wait. If you're here asking after Leviabeetus, it means you're planning to fight him, ain't ye? Well, take care. It really is terrible, dreadful, I tell ye. If you're not careful, you'll end up in his gullet or at the bottom of the sea. Why, you worthless lying whoreson! I can't believe you made me handle chocobo dung! Firemac, this is my affiliate. Were you able to learn aught of use against Leviathan? I beg your pardon? Leviabeetus? I see. That is unfortunate. At any rate, I have tidings for you. The twin vessel is now complete. We await you at Morby Dry Docks. Pray make your way here as soon as you are able. Leviabeetus. Oh man, I wish I could do like Aaron's freaking what was it? Larry the Cable Guy voice. It would be perfect for that guy. Just teleport. I'm told your jaunt in the Grey Fleet proved fruitless. My sympathies, lad. I'll wager it served take your mind off the events of recent days, though. But enough of that nonsense. The moment of truth is upon us. The twin vessel, the UL'DAH, I call her, is complete, and she surpasses all of my expectations. In addition to her prodigious tonnage, she has been fitted with a platform that you and yours might maneuver freely in battle. I would mention also that she is nigh unsinkable, but I'm not one to tempt fate. The UL'DAH and her crew stand ready, my friend. Just give the word, and we shall bear you to Leviathan. Gotta make sure Underside Party's on. Lord of the Whirl, Ian Zaire, or whatever the heck his name is, stands ready to send you off to your encounter with the Lord of the Whirl. Ah, I know that look. You're ready. Having been constructed in some haste, the UL'DAH may not be pretty, but I assure you she's capable. She has been fitted with our friends at NALD and Vimelis are calling an elemental converter. Assuming things work, it will use the power of the corrupted crystals on board to rob Leviathan of his hold over water. Depending on how the battle unfolds, you may well need to activate the device manually. Keep that in mind. Nah, just gonna smack the Leviathan. It's expected that the Sahagan and their thralls will attempt to come to Leviathan's defense. Accordingly, the Maelstrom will once again employ diversions. Stankrick and Justola, I would have you assist in this effort. If it is to fulfill its purpose, your diversionary force must not want for numbers. By your leave, I too would volunteer my blade. We would welcome it. Having seen you fight in Sapsa, I dare say the Fishbacks will find your presence highly diverting. Thancred and Yostola, if you would join the Third Levy, and Lady Guri the Fifth. Oh, but the words I have for the man who has made a sport of slaying gods. Only these. Go warily, for the sea is an unforgiving place to wage war. May the navigator guide you through the storm, warrior of light. I would echo the Admiral's sentiments, and add a few words of my own. Note that we all have the utmost faith in you, Firemac. May the crystal bless you, bless and keep you. Cool, we can do this now. Make quick work of Leviathan. Yo, Leviathan's got an AT field. I might actually kill Leviathan before I actually hear the music. Like the real music. No, there's enough waiting in this fight that we might hear a little bit. Oh, it's on 0. Can't do damage yet. Got that heavy. There's the music. Yeah, done. Can't even get to the vocals yet, can we? Nope. Vocals are gone. So one trial done. Actually, 2 trials done now. King Mughal Mog is dead, and now Leviathan's dead. I don't know how close Ramu is, but I wonder if we'll get a chance to get to Ramu. Because I'm not going to make my stream super long tonight, because I am trying to adjust my sleep schedule. But I am going to try to stream in the morning. Knowing the urgency of your business, I thought it was best to refrain from making conversation during your past few visits. But today I'll permit myself a few words. Ahem. I feel truly privileged to have done the honor of admitting a hero such as you. You're an inspiration to us all, sir, and on that note, the Admiral awaits you in the command room. Oh, wink. Wait, what's that wink for? Yeah, King Mog was before Leviathan. It was like nearly immediately.
We Lominsans are sworn to strive, till sea swallows all. And swallow all it would have, had Leviathan prevailed. That we still strive now, we owe in no small part to you. Not for the first time, you have delivered LIMSALOMINSA from the wrath of a primal. Never has our nation known a stouter ally. On behalf of my people, I give you my humblest thanks. 'Tis meet that I give thanks to old Mistbeard, too, for his fine solution. Whatever else he may have been, 'tis clear he was a resourceful soul. Would that I had a man like him in my service.
Sounds like a subtle wink. He's whistling over there.
Before I set foot in these lands, I had no inkling that the people of Eorzea contended with such mighty foes. Suffice it to say, their existence came as something of a shock, as did the idea that they could be defeated. This experience has served to remind me of the vastness of the world, and the boundless potential of man. Though I am but a refugee in this realm, I would fain be of use to you in your fight. Know that I am tutored in one of the foremost combat arts of the Far East. It may seem outlandish to the Eorzean eye, but should any of your people care to learn, I would be pleased to initiate them.
And I will see to it that they are grateful. I have no doubt that your knowledge and skills will serve us well.
Yeah, she's hidden because, she's hiding from the prejudice, man.
Besides, your art is not so outlandish as you think. Would you not agree, Master Thancred?
Oh, you weren't around when I asked this. But isn't this around the time that actually added Rogue and Ninja to this game? Because they really showed Thancred fighting as a rogue in the Leviathan cutscene. Or the part before Leviathan.
Naught escapes your searching eye, Admiral. Few are privy to this information, but LIMSALOMINSA is home to a certain secret fraternity. Its members are trained in a form of combat, not unlike your own. By my judgment, it should not be beyond such individuals to adapt to the techniques I witnessed you employing with such admirable deftness.
I am heartened to hear this. I too noted a kinship between your style and mine own, though it seemed to me that you fought differently in the beginning.
I suppose I did. What can I say? I'm a man of many talents.
Though you may labor to believe it, Thancred was once something of a scoundrel who fraternized with the criminal class in these parts.
Y'STOLA! You jest, of course.
She's still so quick to out him.
But for a chance encounter with Alphino's grandsire, he might never have left LIMSALOMINSA, or received an education in Sharlayan, or taken up his post in UL'DAH, which is where he trained in the blade, lest you wonder.
Minfilia, please!
It would seem there is more to you than meets the eye, Master Thancred.
Lady Yugiri, I am told that you and yours came to Eorzea seeking permanent resettlement, and that many domins have since been engaged as frontier hands at Revenant's Toll. Morderna is many things, but a place of refuge it is not. Know that I would like nothing better than to furnish your people with a new home here on Lominsan soil. Alas, racked by instability as we are, our nation is in no fit state to take you in. Yet I'll not have it said that we turned a blind eye to your suffering. Until such time as we can do more, I pledge to send provisions.
We are in your debt, Admiral. I realize that it scarce qualifies as repayment. But if it please you, I shall set about sharing my martial knowledge with your people at once.
Oh, I think we're out of voice cutscene now.
You wished a
Oh,
word
no.
in private.
No, we're still good. Yeah, there's her tail.
The better not to spoil the festive mood. History repeats itself, Admiral. As the kobolds did before them, the Sahagin resorted to summoning their god over a territorial feud. They acted in self-preservation. It may be that the Sahagin initiated this particular clash, but how it begins does not interest me so much as how it ends.
I have not forgotten our conversation, Y'shtola. I am aware that man bears part of the blame for the Primal's existence. Nor am I ignorant of the Sahagin's reason for acting. They sought to secure a place to breed and multiply that their kind might survive. Self-preservation, as you say. But we have as much right to live and thrive as they. If our own survival is threatened, are we to lay down our arms and welcome oblivion? Nay.
And so you kill, that you might live. Yet if living is a right, then that right belongs to all peoples, be they men or beastmen.
I'll not deny your reasoning. But when a storm gathers, it falls to me to see my people safely through it. That is my duty, and I shall do it.
As must we all, Admiral. Stay the course, then. But know that it will lead to no good end.
Man has ever put himself first and foremost. To justify his actions, he clads himself in the armor of righteousness, though it be a fancy of his own making. In this, mayhap the Garleans and we Domans are not so different.
Eorzea has become as a raging sea. If we are to keep our heads above the waves, we cannot scruple to drown the man next to us. When hopes of coexistence founder, strength must determine who has the greater right to live.
Woo! I think that was technically the end of that patch, right? No. Not yet. Not yet. When Yugiri met the Fraternity, Xanthale has orders to point you in the direction of the Lominsan underworld. The Admiral has informed me of the arrangement. I have in my keeping a letter introduction for Lady Yugiri. To the south stands a gate leading to a pier for smaller fishing vessels. Look for an inconspicuous Hyurian man there. Present the letter to him. He serves as a gatekeeper of sorts. Now, before you go, I am obliged to remind you that the members of the fraternity to which you would be introduced abide in the shadows of LIMSALOMINSA society. They value their independence more highly than pirates, and are united by a bond stronger than mithril. To wit, they are invariably wary of new faces. Though it be penned by the Admiral herself, mere words on parchment will get you only so far into their confidence. You must work for every ounce of trust they place in you. But here is the letter. Go to the aforementioned place and show it to the aforementioned man. Oh, and good luck. Why does that sound like they're introducing me to the Rogues Guild? Wait, hold on, that's not where I thought it was. It might be faster just to run down here. Got business with me, Ventura? That's a rogue, alright. So you're the man the Admiral sent word of. I was hoping I might catch a glimpse of Thancred too. Been a while since I saw his shite eating grin. But with all the doe-eyed wenches about, I suspect he's got his hands full. Ah, so you must be the Far Easterner what Merlewib says wants to train with us. Welcome to LIMSA. No. Welcome to LIMSA, milady. I'm Yugiri of Doma. 'Tis an honor to make your acquaintance. I must confess, when I first learned of your organization, I had certain preconceptions as to the nature of your membership. It would seem I was mistaken. You're not the first person to say that, lass. LIMSA's a city of pirates, to be sure, and pirates don't give two farts about keeping a spotless reputation. They hardly need a secret society to do their dirty work. Might be as my people and I keep to the shadows, but we've got nothing to be ashamed of. It's simply better for business than we remain unseen. And so you have developed fighting techniques suited for this purpose, I see. Know that the practitioners of my art, too, are denizens of shadow. 'Tis in stealth that our strength lies. There is much we might learn from one another, I think. Then what in the seven hells are we waiting for? If you'd come with us, you Gary of Do-What's-It, we can get acquainted in more private surrounds. Ha, that didn't come out right, did it? Master Firemac, I shall remain with these people for a time, that I might study their ways. Though I am loath to be separated from my countrymen, I take solace in the knowledge that they are in the best of hands. You have been a true friend to us Domans. No words would suffice to express my gratitude. Ere long, I hope to begin imparting my martial knowledge to the people of Eorzea. When that time comes, it would be my honor to welcome you as a student. When Yugiri met fraternity. So she stays with the rogues, and then they don't let her teach us in the ninja part? Or anything? Through the maelstrom. Oh, look at that face. Look at that face. Yugiri has the air of a woman bursting with gratitude. Much and more has occurred since first I beheld Eorzea with the galleon's deck. Suffice it to say, I did not envisage Let's go with that. Being invited to play a part in your noble struggle. But forgive me, I kept you over long. Doubtless you have pressing business of your own. Rest assured I no longer require an escort in this land. When next we meet Lady Minfilia, pray relay to her my humblest thanks. Would that I could do so in person, but I must needs fulfill my promise to the Admiral. Till we meet again, Warrior of Light. Hey! They're starting to call me Warrior of Light now. Like, full on. No longer just adventurer. Yeah, the rogues were like the best of the Realm Reborn stories, like for sure. I remember playing it like, man, this is so good. It's got that quality. Where am I going? The hell am I doing? There's Hozan, Koharu hanging out with Yustola. That might have been cause of the fate of her original voice actress, and they couldn't use her much. And they couldn't use her for much in Rogue Ninja. Well, those quests were never voiced anyway, so I don't see why that would be a problem.
I have been reflecting upon the events which took place during our visit to Vilbrand. If you have a moment, I would share my conclusions with you. Please, bear with me.
Oh, this must be
When
the end of the
Sahagin
patch.
Elder summoned Leviathan, he employed the power we've come to know as the Echo. Though I cannot well explain the how of it, it would seem he became immortal in so doing. When the Admiral subsequently slew him, his spirit emerged from his lifeless flesh, a consciousness shorn of physical form. Thus transfigured, he took up residence in the body of his minion with the ease of a man donning a favorite glove. Long have I known that the Echo allows one to pass through the walls of a man's soul, but never did I imagine that it could free us from our own flesh, nor less that our souls could then occupy the next corporeal vessel to take our fancy. It was of this that Leviabeetus spoke, an existence which knows neither cessation nor oblivion. And yet, though the Sahagin had mastered his gift and thereby become immortal, he was by no means invulnerable. As we both bore witness, he was ultimately absorbed into Leviathan. And the import of this observation? If the Ascians' mode of existence is indeed the same, it can be inferred that they too are not invulnerable, that they can be destroyed. There exists a legend which tells of souls who are reborn upon the cusp of each umbral calamity, that they might stay the encroaching darkness. To most, it is but a fairy tale, yet recent events have given me cause to wonder, could the legend in fact refer to the Echo? Much and more yet remains unknown, but I am confident that all will become clear in time. For the present, however, what matters is that the key to defeating the Ascians may at last be within sight. With Urianger's aid, it is my hope that I shall fathom this matter ere long.
We're gonna freaking zoned out there. What did they just say? President.
Oh, I was just about to send for you, my friend.
Oh, the keys defeating the Ascians.
Artemis.
Grave tidings from the Sharlayan motherland, my lady. It doth concern our distant allies, the students of Baldessian.
What of them?
My lady, the Isle of Val, which for many years hath been the Order's home, is no more.
No more? Whatever do you mean?
I relate only that which hath been conveyed unto me by our agents. An etheric wave of the highest magnitude was recorded in the region. Soon thereafter, 'twas observed that the isle had ceased to be. 'Tis postulated that a magic was evoked, like in power to Ultima.
12 preserve.
So that's where it happened. You're not sure why?
If there are no other matters, I move that today's meeting be adjourned.
I like how Mandeville's just there, but he's so freaking cloaked you can't actually see his face. I'm pretty sure it's Mandeville.
It is done, my lord. Forgive my impertinence, my lord, but these orders, I am uncertain as to what end they serve. Revolution.
Through the maelstrom. Bum 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 bum. The Great Divide. Mephilia's thoughts keep returning to the fate of the students of Baldesion. Our friends, the very owl itself, everyone and everything. No, it avails us not to speculate. UL'DAH will send word if there are any developments. Until such time as he does, we must remain firmly focused on which is within our power to change. With that in mind, speak of a different matter. One closer to home. I would speak of a different matter. It concerns etheric fluctuations which had previously attributed to good King Moggle Mog XII. May his name forever preserve. That the king is no more is a blessing for which we have you to thank. Yet, all is not well in the Twelveswood. Our latest readings reveal an ongoing etheric disturbance of considerable magnitude. They may even suggest the presence of a primal. Needless to say, the mere possibility warrants immediate investigation, and I would have you... Acelia, I do not wish to interrupt, but we have a problem. What matter a problem? Abandoned refugees, hailing from UL'DAH, this time are come to Revenant's toll-seeking asylum. It would seem they expect us to afford them the same treatment we gave the Lomans. At present, they are in the seventh heaven, awaiting a formal repose. Repose? Is that what this said? Response. I see. Mayhap this was expected. I shall meet with them at once. Acelia, you know full well we haven't the resources to accommodate many more people. Consider what will happen if you do this. Word will spread, and more will follow. Your opinion is duly noted, but I will hear their suit. Firemac, I should be grateful for your presence at this meeting. Don't remember what this is about. Who comes bothering? Is it really just random peeps? Also, seventh heaven? Daggle-trailed refugee. I apologize for keeping you waiting. My name is Mephilia, and I lead the science of the Seventh Dawn. 12 be praised. It is you! We're ready and willing to work, same as the Domans. Just give us a task, and we'll see it done. Pray calm yourselves. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I know not of your situation. Beg your pardon, Antecedent. I ain't so good with words. We've been living off the scraps of UL'DAH for years now, trying to piece together a life to replace the one we took. They say there's work, but there's not for an honest man. Not as wouldn't sully his soul sooner than his palms any road. The flames do what they can for us, of course, but this ain't near enough. And it's only getting worse. When the calamity brought us to our knees, those rich bastards in the city didn't help us up. They climbed on our backs. And don't pretend to be clever, but even I can see what's coming. I knew we had to run. The only question was where. And when it came to me, Revenant's toll. I mean, you took them foreigners in, didn't you? So you'd surely do the same for us. I fear the situation is rather more complicated. While it is true that we accepted the Doman's petition for aid, that decision was a product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathize deeply with your plight, but pray understand that it is not possible for an organization of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity. As so, it is with great regret that I must deny your request. But we've nowhere else to go. You're turning your back on us? If I might have a word. Tataru, is aught amiss? Ill tidings from UL'DAH, my lady. Alphino has been wounded. What? How? Is it serious? I cannot say for certain, but I fear it might be. According to the flames, the refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently, lashing out at any and everyone. That can't be right. Why would they? They must have been provoked. The demonstration was meant to be peaceful. 7 hells. Now the Blaze have an excuse. They'll round us up and kill anyone who tries to resist. And to send it, please, if you won't help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we've got. My lady, we are not the ones to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, until we know more of the circumstances surrounding this riot, I am not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. If the authorities determine that the refugees attack without provocation, then those responsible will have to answer for their actions. How can you be so blind? Find Alphino, and quickly. If he is in danger or worse, I would have you and none other by his side. Thank you. Pray do not concern yourself with the matter we were discussing earlier. Ida and Papa Lima will see to it. Alphino is being treated at the Hourglass. Hurry, Firemac. The Hourglass? That's the inn, right? Yeah, it's the inn. Well, he seems to be okay. He's just standing up.
Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well. UL'DAH, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over. UL'DAH is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life. To an UL'DAH, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity? Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the UL'DAH way of thinking, they may as well not exist. Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Reborn and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more UL'DAHs to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers, while more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions. It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest. Nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence. That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.